Hello everyone, this is my first video and I'm going to be doing it on some ways for beginners to improve their realistic drawing. So please enjoy. I'll just be sketching the penguin on the right using the reference that I have. So these are just some basic tips for beginners. One thing that I found is that with how-tos and tutorial videos and videos like what I'm about to do, they can definitely help. They can really give some great tips and really assist you, but it's up to you to apply what you've learnt to your pieces, because otherwise, like I expected, I expected that I would just, with the knowledge, I would get better, but you actually need to practice that. So yeah. So as you can see, my first step was starting out with a cross on both pictures, which means that I can look at the penguin and, for example, check where its wing is in relation to the line down the middle, and then look on my page and place that wing in that particular spot. So this just helps with proportion and keeping it all looking to the right thing. For your initial sketch, if that's what you're going to do, I would suggest that you use a HB so that you can rub it out easily. Another thing to remember is to not worry about the outcome of your picture. If it didn't come out the way that you wanted it to, don't stress, just have a look, see how you can improve it for next time. So, I had ripped the feet off this picture, it seems, so I went to look at another picture of a penguin and draw the feet out as the picture showed, which leads me on to my next big tip, which is to look and don't know what you're drawing. So I needed to look at the contours of the penguin instead of just doing a cartoonish penguin that I always draw. So if you were to just draw what you think a penguin looks like, then it might not look as realistic. For example, you might make the head a lot bigger than it's meant to be, which means that it's not going to be realistic and it's not going to look like the picture. So if you want me to expand on this more, just let me know in the comments and I can explain this a bit better. So I turned the pictures upside down because this means that I could get another look at how the penguin is, and it would mean that I'm not recognizing the shapes and just drawing them how I think they are. I'm actually having to look at each curve individually and draw that properly. So this is definitely something that I use all the time. You can turn it sideways, you can do anything, just to have another look at how you might be able to improve that bit that you might be having trouble with. So while I'm just messing around with my iPod, I just thought that I would talk about practicing. So it is definitely the most important way that you can improve your drawing, especially realistic drawing, because it means that you get better at knowing how things appear in real life. But with absolutely anything, by practicing and with art, if you explore different techniques and mediums and styles and subjects, you can have a much broader understanding of art as a whole, and just explore it, have fun with it, enjoy it, and that is the best way to improve your drawing. Something else that I'm doing as I'm sketching is I'm looking for the negative space. So instead of drawing the head as I see it, I can draw the space, the shape that is between the body and the bottom of the head, and this can definitely help. So I'm just clearing up my sketch and adding in some permanent marker to the sections that are completely dark, where there is no tone and no shading that I can add. So here I begin using coloured pencil to create the layers of the feathers. So the feathers have a bit of a bluish tint, which you may not be able to see, but in the picture it's not completely black, so I decided to put some blue and purple down first and then layer it on with black. If I wanted to make that look a bit more abstract perhaps, or not so realistic, I could have left that purple and blue as a bit of a bolder tone. So for the white front, the belly of the penguin, I included as obviously yellow and orange for the top of the head, but also where it's just a bit of an off-white, like a darker tone, a shadow, I used brown, purple, and blue, I think, and grey, which just created that mixed tone that I couldn't get with just one pencil. So here you can just see that mixture of shades that I've used. It actually looks quite nice, but then I have to go over the top with black. So now I'm just adding more details, more colour, more layers to just build up the penguin's feathers. So because the editing software that I'm using is not very good, I have to keep cutting parts out instead of just speeding up my drawing to make sure that this video is a reasonable length. So I apologise for that, and if I do another video, hopefully I can fix that up. So now that I've finished the penguin, I decided to add blue as the background because that's what it is in the picture, just to distinguish between the white feathers and what the background is. So thank you so much for watching. This video has been very fun to make. I just have a couple of final things I'd like to say. So your picture will most likely not be compared to the original, so don't worry if it doesn't look exactly the same, because mine certainly doesn't. And just have fun with art. So experiment with different mediums and surfaces, styles, subjects. Just explore all the different things that art has to offer. As I said before, it's just such a great broad subject. There's so many aspects and things to think about and create and learn about. So yeah, just enjoy it. And stay loose and creative, so don't feel trapped with what you've just been doing. And yeah, so if you have any suggestions for what I should draw, what I should post, how I could perhaps make this video better, just leave some comments down below. So thank you.